The champ is here.
We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes. And we're going to continue to shake up the world. So welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Yeah, mate.
Yes, he's the DB of the show. We are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. We're here interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom, covering it all, laughing at all, while providing a platform to be heard. So today, man, we got to get going because we got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome our guests like we do all about this time, all right? So Miles, we got another DB on the show.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go ahead and play a little deep two. I'll cover the hook flats. Over the top, right? Yeah. Deep as the deepest. But hey, he's Cali born. Now he's a part of the Vegas nation. Hey, a brother that bleeds blue. A true Renaissance man. All right, he's the social media manager for the RJR local newspaper. Let's give it up for Adrian Aye-Darko.
Aye-Darko.
I knew I was going to blow it. I practiced before, but let's clap it up. I said it right in the end when we were talking, right, and blew it when I came on.
Yeah, you said it real African. You know what I mean? When the cameras was off.
When the camera was off, right? I had put that other voice on. But hey, just welcome to the show, man. So how we like to start the show is a shoot your shot moment, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is where you went for it all, any time in life. It could have been when you was a youngin', could have been today, could have been in work, but just a shoot your shot moment. Don't give us that, oh man, I always shoot my shot, man, daily. Just give us a moment.
Okay, I can go to one moment, I guess, pops in my head. Playing college football against Miami.
Ooh.
And I just kind of told myself before the game, I'm gonna take some chances, nothing to lose. We were probably a huge underdog in that game.
Okay.
And the quarterback, they're kind of shuffling through two quarterbacks. He threw up, a pass my way, and I just went up, and it was a big crowd. Went up, intercepted it. So it felt really good, obviously. And then later in the game, they switched quarterbacks.
Okay.
And the guy ran an out route, and I could have played it safe, but I just kind of jumped the route, and I ended up with 2 interceptions that game against Miami. So that's kind of a shoot your shot moment.
I was in Miami.
That was actually at Duke.
Was at Duke?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got our butts kicked pretty good, but I got my 2 picks. So I was good.
Yeah, I got yours, right? I got mine.
Yeah. So that's one off the top of my head.
I like it.
So football, basketball, ran track.
Yeah.
Where did the love for sports start?
Man, as far as back as I can remember, 4 or 5 years old, I think soccer was my first sport. Maybe
Okay.
it was either soccer or basketball. They're kind of neck and neck.
Okay.
My dad played soccer. My dad's from Africa,
Yep.
Ghana, West Africa.
Okay.
So he's a big soccer guy. So he played soccer. I think he played a little bit in college. Nothing too big, but
Right.
he had a passion for soccer. So he put me in soccer. Was like one of my first coaches. And then I really took to basketball. Fell in love with basketball. That was really my first love.
Really?
Yeah. And I played that, all the way from YMCA to AAU,
Mm-hmm.
and then started getting into football. And it's kind of basketball and football are my 2 favorites. Started playing tackle when I was like 12.
Okay.
And just kept playing both, and then in high school, track came in, just running track to keep my speed for football and things like that.
You're not gonna ask what event.
Have to. You got to.
Of course. So I did the relays 4x1,
Okay.
4x4.
You did a little hurling too, right?
Yeah,
Were you a hurler?
You did your research.
Nah, come on, man.
Yeah, like,
Sure.
Yeah, I did
4x4 is legit. That's the man race.
That's the man race.
Yeah.
What leg?
I was usually last leg in the 4x4.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
I was kind of stronger in the mid distance, and then in the 4x1, I ran the curve, so I would do a start
Yep.
or number 3.
Mhm.
And then like you said, 300 hurdles ended up being one of my best races.
Oh, really?
As I progressed.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, kick.
So your parents were from Minnesota, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How
So
was it? How was it
Yeah, sorry.
Was it California?
Yeah. So my mom was from Minnesota.
Okay.
Okay.
Born and raised, and my
Okay.
dad actually moved from Africa, West Africa, Ghana, to Minnesota.
Okay.
To go to school.
Okay.
And it's always funny to me. He says, like, why Minnesota out of all the places in the
Yeah.
West?
Yeah.
And he said, back home, he calls it, back in Africa,
Right.
their thinking is they want to go somewhere where there's good farmland. 'Cause that's how they think.
That's okay.
So
I see.
there's gonna be plenty of food.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
It's gonna be plentiful, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he chose the Midwest in Minnesota.
Wow.
So he ended up in Minnesota, meeting my mom. You know, they had me. Actually, they fell in love, moved to California, got married, moved to California, had me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
And it's you and your sister?
Yep. I have a little sister. Yep.
Nice, nice. So she play any sports?
Yeah. She kind of followed in my footsteps, like
The whole soccer,
for
basketball,
better or worse, she
track?
basically like grew up in a basketball gym.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
I was really heavy.
Always out there, huh?
in basketball, so she was always going to my practices, games. So she ended up playing basketball, also soccer.
Okay.
And she unfortunately had a couple knee injuries. She tore her ACL like 3 times.
Oh,
Same
but
leg?
yeah.
I think it was the same leg. I think it was both, but I think 2 in one and maybe 1 in the other. So it was really bad. But she would have been good outside of that. But that kind of cut her career short. Like she had 3 surgeries before the age of 16.
Dang.
So I feel for her.
Yeah.
That's tough
Yeah,
business.
she's doing well. She's a nurse now, so she's doing well.
Oh man, front line.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
thank you
yeah,
for what she
exactly.
does, man.
Yep, she's a hero. She's a hero.
That's big. Do you have any injuries?
Yeah, so I made it through college without any major injuries, thank God.
Yeah.
I had some, banged up shoulder, banged up knee here and there. But then, of course, when I get done playing, I still have the itch to play, so I go out and play flag.
We all have it. We all
you don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
So,
Just can't let her go.
Nah.
Can't let her.
So I had some, high school buddies talking me into going out and play flag football. And then,
That's the worst.
I'm playing like DB or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he convinces me to go on a blitz. I'm like, this is a flag football. So
Now, what is it? One of those contact flags, or it was like?
It's
guys
flag,
were going hard, but it was still flag.
Yeah.
And people go
But-
hard though, man.
But
That's those
yeah,
people.
sometimes when they got the lineman
Oh,
there,
man, it's too
and like
much.
I'm a pulling guard. Like
No, I don't think
chill out.
there's any
Yeah,
lineman
okay.
pulling guard,
Yeah.
but so
Some people go hard like that though.
yeah.
I listened to him like a dummy and went on the blitz, and I kind of like try to like curl and go after the quarterback.
Right.
All I hear is pop, and it just
Oh,
dropped to the ground, and it was my ACL. So that was my first like major injury. It was luckily after I was done playing, but it was still
How old were
pain.
you then?
I think I was like 24.
Oh, okay.
25.
still not bad, but
Yeah, that's not bad because my pop said 26 is like if
the
you're not
recovery
playing
time. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Huh?
after 26, if you doing something stupid, you about to get hurt.
Right. I learned that the hard
Yeah.
way. So yeah.
Hey, y'all ACL game ain't too tight in the family,
Right.
man.
Yeah. I had an ACL, got that fixed,
Mm-hmm.
and then went back out. I was hooping,
Okay.
tore my meniscus, and then in the same knee, and then that wasn't healing right, so I had to go back in and clean it up. So I ended up with like 3 knee surgeries.
Oh wow.
After after all of my athletic career.
Wow.
I be bow-legged, man. Bow-legged people don't hurt their knees.
Is that what you think?
That's a fact.
Okay, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
LeBron kind of bow-legged. I don't think he's had a serious injury, so
I'm
there
telling you, he
might be something to that.
LeBron rolled his ankle and he just tapped it. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, he's different. That's a different breed.
Total
Bow-legged
different breed. Miles facts right there. So let's get into Duke. I mean, that's so. First, before you get into Duke, how did you make the determination when you said basketball was really the love and the football? How did you, especially going to Duke, right?
Yeah.
How did you make that determination that football was a sport for you to kind of move forward or take the furthest process with?
It was really kind of based on my offers. I had a few more football offers. I had a few basketball offers too. Actually, the Naval Academy wanted me to play both, but I wasn't trying to do the whole Navy thing.
Navy and play 2 sports.
Right. That was a little too much. My dad was kind of pushing for that, but then, it kind of just came down to the offers, and I liked the schools kind of more for football.
Gotcha.
It actually came down, believe it or not, between Harvard and Duke for me. I took a trip to both, but as you know,
Man.
Wow. That's
Okay.
dope, man.
yeah. So you could say I turned down Harvard, which is kind of crazy, but they don't
Humble
give
brag.
they
Humble
don't-
brag.
they don't give athletic scholarships. So
Yeah.
it's like go to Harvard
Uh-huh.
for like whatever half price or whatever, and have my parents pay, or go to
Pay.
Duke for free.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how I broke it down. And also I was thinking I'm 6'1", I'm not very tall, as far as like professional basketball goes. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking my shot to go pro, which was a goal, is probably easier in football. I'm kind of prototype size for a
Right.
receiver or DB,
Right.
6'1", 200. So I thought I had a better shot of going pro.
No, that makes sense.
But one thing I didn't take into account that sometimes I kind of kick myself is there's more opportunities to play pro basketball overseas. And I have a good friend.
There's more opportunities, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's kind of like, dang, but I'm happy with my decision.
And growing more now, right? You got the G League, you got
Right.
there's so many other kind of
Yeah,
opportunities
yeah.
you got for that.
But
Sure.
yeah,
So then you ultimately chose Duke.
yes.
That's dope.
So from California to Carolina, I know those are two different worlds.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
how was the culture change going to Carolina?
Yeah, definitely a culture shock. Growing up in California is very diverse.
Mhm.
You have all different races. I remember my group of friends in like elementary school. It was like me, a guy from Argentina, a Japanese guy,
Oh wow.
Wow.
and a Armenian guy.
Okay.
And that was kind of my core group of friends.
Uh-huh.
So just that tells you the diversity in California. And then going to North Carolina is either like you're black or you're white.
Light skinned
You know,
baby. That's it. Yeah.
It's like you're
Mhm.
black or you're white. And our school, granted, was a little more diverse in the actual area
Sure.
of Durham
And
or
Durham,
Raleigh,
Durham got some areas over there.
Yeah.
I got my brother lives in Raleigh. So,
yeah. There's some hoods over there.
Yeah, they got some
Yeah.
areas. Yeah.
There's some people that have been down and had a good time around those areas.
Definitely, yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, definitely less diverse than California outside of the campus life.
Got you. So the Duke experience. Talk to me about that.
It was a great experience. I mean, obviously, I was a huge basketball and football fan, but
Mhm.
obviously Duke, you think basketball. So I grew up, watching Duke basketball,
Yeah.
Right.
the Carolina rivalry, all that. And I was always a fan of Duke. I remember I had the black and blue when they first came out with the black jerseys, Duke.
Yeah.
I got them from East Bay. I remember
Okay. East Bay.
I got the
Jason Williams. Cold.
I had the black Duke shorts with the Nike swoosh on them. So I remember I was so happy when I got those. So like I was always a fan of Duke. So it was
Mhm.
crazy to actually go there.
Right.
Not for basketball as I probably dreamed it would be.
Sure.
But I had to learn that they did have a football program when they started recruiting me. I had never heard of their football program.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great opportunity to go there, and it's the best of both worlds, which is also why I chose it. You have it's a top 5, top 10 academic school
Absolutely.
in the country, maybe the world. And then you also get the chance to play in the ACC against your Miamis,
Right.
your Virginia Techs, your
Right.
Florida States.
Right.
You name it, Clemson.
Was
Right.
Boston College still in that? Are they?
They were when I was
They
there.
were, right?
Yeah,
When you-
yeah. I don't think are they still there. I think they're still there. Yeah.
I mean, Coach K always says it's almost like a flawless pitch, like top of
Yeah.
the line education, top of the line athletics.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
know what gets much better than that.
Exactly.
So there's a couple things that stood out in the college career that to me, for one, the 96 snaps, one game against Northwestern. I've read that on your bio.
Okay.
How is what? That's a lot of snaps.
That's a lot of snaps. That's a lot.
What
of snaps.
happened? There's like 13 punts that y'all had. Like
Obviously, our offense wasn't on the field
At all.
that
At
much
all.
that game. But yeah, unfortunately, when I was there, it was a lot of snaps on defense. I remember going to watch a film. It was like in the 80s a lot of times.
yeah.
So 90s, I guess that's on the extreme side. But yeah, I can remember that game, and I can remember being tired. I can remember it being a dogfight. I think
Yeah.
that if it's the
Tired's
game
an
I'm thinking of.
underestimate,
If it's the
right?
game I'm thinking of, I think we actually won that game at Northwestern. If it's the
Oh,
one I'm
okay.
thinking of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, so I'll take it. I'll take the W. I remember I had a lot of family there because I have a lot of family in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. And they
So
came
they all
down
came down,
the trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's a.
So you got that
definitely sticks in my
adrenaline for
mind.
that, play 91 and 92.
Yeah,
it was-
yeah. It was, yeah.
And then, man, I gotta ask this because I was on a sorry team in college.
Where'd you play at? I'm sorry, I didn't do my research.
No, you're fine. No, I played at Northern Colorado. I was a 1AA guy from up in the Greeley, Colorado.
And you
So,
played corner or safety?
corner.
Okay, I was
Corner.
I
Yep.
figured,
Yep. So help me on the top over there. Man.
I got you.
I like
got
I like to jump stuff.
you.
But 0-12 season.
Oh man.
I have to ask, man.
Yeah, you had to remind me.
I was going to, if he didn't say it, I was going to say it. Not even that.
No, that's
like,
fair. Yeah. Nah.
that's a tough one.
Yeah, it was really tough. I mean, it was 0-12. It was 1-11 another year.
You guys didn't have very many wins through your, because you was 04 to
I was 04 to 08.
Yeah, the new
so-
coach the senior year, right?
Exactly. That's when Coach Cutcliffe came in.
Cutcliffe, and he helped y'all
turn the
then
program around.
Start turning
So
it
turn it
around.
I like
around.
to think that I'm like one of the
One of the
foundation.
foundational
There you go.
blocks.
Right.
Pound
Took
the
a lot
rock.
took a lot of the L's.
You
took
know,
a lot of the,
built that solid base, baby.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, we took a lot of L's. It was tough, man. Like, losing and having to, just remotivate yourself to practice, lift
Oh,
weights
man.
every day in, day out, go to class. But at the end of the day, I was still living a dream.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad. It sucked to lose, obviously.
Right.
But I kind of signed up for that knowing the state of the program.
Yep.
And obviously didn't turn around as fast as I would like it to. But it was still living a dream, playing against, future NFL players, playing the ACC, playing in stadiums you see on TV. And like we said, getting a world-class education.
Yeah.
So,
And you played against some great, even outside the conference. Y'all played against Alabama one year,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So-
yeah, we played at Alabama.
At Alabama.
In front
So
of,
that
in
has
front of
to be-
92,000.
Oh,
so,
man.
Yeah, so experiences like that,
Right.
even though you're taking your lumps.
Hey, as long as you're shooting your shot during those
Exactly.
games,
I was
right?
still shooting my
I'm
shot.
getting mine, kid.
Trying to, yeah, but it is what it is,
So, speaking about the competition you had to play against, who did you play against that just was like the most exciting, or the like one of those you pinch yourself or kind of brag moments, right? Because there's a lot of people during that time period that played in some of the games you played.
Yeah, so some of the names like Devin Hester.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we could just start there, right?
Yeah. Hall of Famer.
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson, yeah. Russell.
I saw that
Wilson.
interview about
Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
I saw the interview.
That tweet, some guy like,
Yeah, just having some fun with it. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I would have never thought. Like, that was back when he was at NC State,
Right.
or in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So,
right.
you would never thought he'd be an eventual, all-time great Super Bowl champion. So,
Right.
those are some of the guys. I remember C.J. Spiller. He's one of the guys that sticks out as just when you just talk about unreal speed and just next level athleticism. He's a guy who sticks out in my mind. I always say C.J. Spiller, Calvin Johnson, Demaryius Thomas.
Okay.
A lot of guys like that.
And they were still running the triple option like Georgia Tech and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was just
he was still
out,
catching
nines.
Yeah, he was still catching his jump balls and stuff. I remember he ran a post one time, and I saw it coming.
Okay.
He's coming on the post. I'm playing middle field safety, and I'm like, I got this breakup, maybe even a pick. I go up to high point the ball. He goes up to another level. He has like a 40-inch vertical.
Yeah.
But I'm still there. When he comes down, I'm raking. I rake as hard as I can, rake his arms out.
Absolutely.
He's just manhandles it, makes the catch, and it's just like, damn, like, I was in perfect position, did everything I could, raked as hard as I could, but, he's just a kind of a, I guess he was
first
a
round draft
superior
pick.
athlete at that
part.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So really quick, just to touch on it. So you're a Duke guy, so Zion's in the media a little bit.
Yeah.
So did they break bread for you too while you was down there?
Not at all. Not at all. We got our little cafeteria card. I think when we moved off campus, we got like a check. But that's like all legal within
between the
your rent
NCAA
and
rules.
Yeah. So I was by the book. I wasn't a 5-star or anything like that. So I had to work for everything I had.
Got you.
So, who was your game? Did you have you pattern your game after somebody, or is this kind of your game? Or
I would definitely watch a lot of guys, even like my contemporaries. I remember like Jimmy Smith. I would watch a lot from Virginia Tech. He was kind of a bigger corner. And it's funny because when I redshirted, I would actually play him on the scouting team.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would have one sleeve like him. You know what I mean? Like, and just like really live it up. But yeah. Palomalu, Ed Reed, all those guys, all the top safeties in the NFL, I would watch on Sundays, like after my games on Saturdays.
Okay.
And try to pick up little things. But yeah.
Okay. If you were to make a perfect safety, right? Mental, length, their legs, who would that person be in each kind of like category? So like from smarts, who you think is the top safety if you're about to make a prototype?
Smarts, okay. I'd probably go with Palomalu. His brain and his instincts.
Okay.
Kind of just his natural being, or Ed Reed, one of those two.
Okay.
As far as being around the ball and, prototype, rest in peace, Sean Taylor.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He's a beast.
He was nasty.
Yeah.
He was nasty, 6'3", 230.
Yep.
Ran a 4.4 or whatever it was. And, great ball skills.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of like the closest thing, to kind of a perfect or prototype safety.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I agree 100% with that.
Yep. Agree.
Really quick, you did mention it, so I did see that you did visit Africa, right? Was that your only trip? And what was the motivation? Was it just, what you just talked about, I'm not even going to put words in your mouth. What was the motivation for you to go back to Africa?
Yeah, that was my first trip.
Okay.
It was in 2015, going back to Ghana. And I always wanted to go there. Like, my dad, instilled that culture in me when I was younger.
Right.
I don't speak the language, but he taught me some words. We had, pictures around the house. We had a picture of my grandfather and all his traditional he was actually a chief in Akrapong. He was a chief of a village.
That's awesome.
And also a police chief in the town. So my dad always told me stories about him.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I'm blessed to have that, that running through my blood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always had a desire to go there. When people, you ask people, you're gonna know them. Like, if you can go one place in the world, what would it be?
Right.
I would always say Africa, Ghana, because I hadn't been there yet. And I think that's like a foundation of who I am. And that's just a necessary visit for me. So I was lucky enough to go in 2015, and it was a good experience. It was just crazy, like just seeing how they lived. You know, still to this day, their government was kind of doing some questionable things with cutting off the electricity. Like we only had electricity when I was there for 24-hour period. So you had 24-hour period with lights and 24-hour period without lights. Yeah. So and they called it Doomsa Doomsa.
What time of year was this?
This was summertime. I think it was July 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's hot out. It's like 80 degrees and humid, and you may not have no AC that night because they cut off the air conditioning.
Wow.
You know, and we go out, you know, maybe for dinner or something, and you come back to the house and you have to have a flashlight just to find your room, get back to the house. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's in 2015. You know what I mean? That's how they're still living there. And this is in, you know, my family there is like pretty well off. Like I was in a nice house over there, but it still didn't have, you know, electricity.
Because it was government sanctioned or government ran or whatever like that.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then the other thing was the roads. Well, it's three things. There was the lights, electricity, and then the roads. Like there's not too many paved roads there. Like you're driving and you may be in a taxi, maybe in your family's car, and you're like rocking. You're on like dirt roads with big divots in it and things like that. So that was another thing. And then the last thing was, what was the last thing? Oh, the showers. So you take bucket showers there. They don't have water pressures in most of the homes.
Hold on. Yeah.
Right.
It's 2015.
Yeah.
2015 in Ghana, which is one of the more progressive, advanced countries in Africa.
Right.
And you're in a 2-story house that looks nice, looks like a kind of a cookie cutter home in Vegas.
Sure.
But there's no water pressure from the shower head. You have to fill the bucket in the shower in the bathtub and wash yourself. And that's how we bathed every day for the week I was there. So that's a lot of things like I didn't anticipate that was eye-opening. You know what I mean, that makes you really put things in perspective and not take things for granted.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some. My parents used to live in Turkey when I was in college.
Okay.
Military, so I used to go out there to like Istanbul and Adana, and you would see people. I already think it's a crazy job. The people that clean windows, like in apartment buildings.
Yeah.
But they would have no bungees, nothing. They just holding on with their big toes, like whoa.
Right.
Making it happen.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The things we take for granted, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick hits.
Duke basketball. I'm gonna steal this one from my knucklehead brothers.
Okay.
Start, cut, or bench.
Oh man.
Zion Williamson, Grant Hill, Kyrie.
Start, cut, or bench. Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, my
What you got? Give it to us.
I gotta give one to each of them.
Yep.
Start one, bench
Start
one.
one, cut one, bench one.
Okay, I got to start Grant Hill. He has titles.
Yep.
I got to cut Kyrie.
He was there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. He played. I love Kyrie. I'm a big Kyrie fan. He played 11 games. I think. Yeah, so that's easy. I'll cut Kyrie.
Yep.
And I got Zion coming off the bench.
There it is. All right.
I like it. All right. Being interviewed or giving an interview, which one? Which one would you rather do?
Being interviewed.
Being interviewed.
I'm not even gonna front.
Top 5 athlete rappers.
Okay. Oh, athlete. I don't even know if I know 5. Athlete rappers?
Dame Dollar. Come on, he got to be in there.
Myself, number 1.
Yep.
Dylon.
Dame Dollar for sure. Okay. I got to put Shaq in there.
Kobe.
Kobe.
Shaq went platinum though.
Yeah.
Shaq went platinum.
Do you want me to shoot it?
What other athlete rappers we got?
Kobe had,
Kobe
had
had-
flows
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Kobe
huh?
had-
Nah,
flow.
rest in peace, Kobe.
He did one with was it Brandy or
He was rapping in Italian and all that.
yes.
Yeah.
Tony Parker had an album in French.
No,
2 of
that's
them.
right. Let's not.
Yeah. Who else raps as an athlete? I know Shumpert does a little something.
Shumpert is nice. He's
Lou
cool.
Williams, I know raps. I haven't heard too
you
much
don't
of his
say
stuff
nice, really?
Shumpert is nice. I like
Okay.
Shump.
Okay.
And then you got light skinned Lonzo Ball. He's trying to do something.
Yeah.
I
Honestly,
know, too.
I'm like a rap snob, so if it's not like good, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like I heard some of Dame Dollar stuff, and he can go. I like
Dame.
Yeah.
I'll respect
can go
Dame.
for real.
He's got balls.
But
nice.
other than that, like if you're just kind of halfway in, halfway out, like
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to like Jay-Z or Nas. Why would I waste my time on that?
I feel it. Last one. What's worse? And this is kind of your social media thing.
Okay.
Getting beat on the post over top
Ooh.
or sending a social tweet that's got a mistake in it. Which one is worse?
Ooh. Post over the top. You can always delete the tweet.
Yeah.
You can delete the tweet. You can rework the Facebook IG post. So yeah, I mean that happens when you're sending out hundreds, thousands of posts. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but being on a post, like I still think about times I got beat. You know what I mean? Like
Telling you don't go away.
yeah, it haunts you. So,
And he's supposed to shake it off, but it's just still there.
Yeah,
It's almost like I used the ankle bite tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And the times that you miss
Oh,
and you just kind of roll over and you see his cleats still running.
yeah.
How embarrassing that
Oh,
is.
yeah,
I know
it's-
that's a bad
It's
feeling.
bad, man.
That's it.
That's good stuff. All right, man. So let's get into present day, man, in your career right now. So since we talked about, a tweet, that's, what your gig is now. How did you get into like the marketing? Because you started off in sales, right? Is that kind of,
Yeah, a little bit. I did sales for a little bit, like maybe 3 months between jobs. Yeah.
was marketing always the goal, or how did you get into, doing the social media marketing?
Yeah, so I guess the goal is always to do something kind of in business and marketing and,
Okay.
and kind of in the sports entertainment world.
Mhm.
And I actually graduated in 2008, which is the middle of the recession.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of similar to
Dang, I
times
didn't even
now.
think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really bad when I graduated as far as finding a job, the unemployment rate, people weren't really hiring. So I got a break. Like one of my old coaches actually got me a job as a basketball coach, coaching middle school basketball
Okay.
at a Brentwood school.
Nice.
So I did that for like a season, and then I did an internship with a family friend who owns an accounting firm, like a high profile accounting firm in LA. So he called me out the blue and said, "Hey, I want to bring you in and talk about maybe you working for me."
Right.
So he had the idea to kind of bring me in as kind of a sports management liaison to try to get younger athletes in and help manage their money and take care of their money.
The scheme.
But with good intentions,
Right. No,
athletes blow their money, so kind of be that middleman between the firm and the athlete. So I did that for a while, and I actually became like a staff accountant there.
Oh, dope.
So I worked as an accountant for like a year and a half, and he wanted me to get my CPA, but I was like, I'm not really a number cruncher guy.
Just
Like,
didn't feel that.
Yeah,
That
it's
wasn't-
not, I couldn't see myself doing that forever.
Right.
But he's a well-connected guy, so he was like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "Our passion is really in sports entertainment." So he was like, "Let me, make some calls, see what I can do." And he got me some informational interviews at Fox.
Skilled.
Yeah. So he knew.
Skilled.
Skip. So
Skip Bayless.
he's lost.
Yeah.
Skip and Shannon.
I get it. I was lost. I didn't get
I had to
it.
think about it too.
Okay, thank you. Don't like it's just me. It's like what? Like hold on. Like what
My bad,
happened?
my
It's
fault.
all good.
This is obviously before Skip and Shannon was there.
Right.
This is like 2012. So I
I'm
had
more of
some-
a Colin Cowherd kind of guy.
I like
anyway.
Howard too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got Vegas ties.
Yep, he does. So yeah, he got me some informational interviews there, and I just kind of. This was at the same time I left his firm and I was doing sales.
Okay.
But I was still kind of working Fox Sports, making calls. Hey, does anything open up? And finally, one of the executives there called me back and said, "Hey, I want you to interview for this social media position
Okay.
at Fox Sports. We're starting a social media. This is before they even had social media as a job.
Yeah.
Like at this point, they just had PR people sending out random tweets and stuff.
Right.
So they were starting a social media division.
Oh, that's
so I was a
wild.
part of like the original social media group at Fox Sports in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's challenging, right? Like when you coming into something where it's
Yeah.
not really identified and you have to grow it,
Sure.
and there's really no matrix of like am I doing
Yeah,
good
you
or
don't
not?
even know if
right?
you're
Like,
doing it right or not.
right.
There's there's nothing to compare it to at the time. So
Dang,
that was
that's
kind of the cool
interesting.
thing is to kind of grow with the business and evolve with the business, and be kind of one of the pioneers of social sports, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
just the evolution part of it from when you played, what Twitter was when you played until what it is now.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like,
I didn't even have Twitter when I played. When I was in college, there wasn't Twitter. Twitter came out in 2009, I
It was
believe.
like it was
Something
like
like that.
Oh, I didn't
So
even
we
think
we
that.
had we had
Yeah,
Facebook. That's it.
MySpace.
Yeah.
My- top five.
Top five.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that trend? Because you've seen it from the start to
Yeah.
where it is now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No, it's amazing. I think it's a great platform for all these young athletes, especially now. You have high school kids coming out of high school with 1 million followers,
That shit's
500,000
crazy.
followers.
Blue checks.
So I'm not verified everything. Like, I'm still trying to get some of our official the Review Journal accounts verified. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
these guys are in high school and verified. So I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm jealous. Like I wish I had that platform when I was younger to put my highlights out and things like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know where half of my VHS highlight tapes are from high school. These
Right.
guys can upload it right after the game. So I think it's an awesome platform, and especially now with the NCAA allowing players to profit off their likeness, I mean, that's huge.
That changes the
You know
game.
what I mean, you can build your brand starting at whenever your parents allow you to get an Instagram account.
Right.
11, 12, you know, and you can build from there.
So accurate, man.
So
And then, I mean, and if you have the following, you could get XYZ company to give you a couple $100 for a
of
tweet.
course, that's all it's about
That's
is
all
your
it's about.
following, your
That's it.
numbers. Yeah.
I
So
wonder how that works with. I'm not gonna get into that, but like that, like if you 12 years old and you like, you know, hey, tweet this and you get, you know,
how's that
Your
different from
parents.
a 12-year-old on a sitcom or in
Yeah.
a commercial?
Your
But does
parents.
that affect like if they're trying to go to college, if they still
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do NCAA?
True,
Like I wonder
true.
how that works. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, got
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
G League, I guess.
Exactly. Or overseas, Australia.
there it is. It's
True.
Sit out of here.
True. I'm always interested, man, because I know you got a bachelor's in marketing and management.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people kind of change paths. They just kind of fall into a career. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it seems like you've been pretty consistent in what you wanted to do, almost from the get go, man. So like,
Yeah.
what in your makeup? I don't know if it's your parents, your sister, like your family. What in your makeup allowed you to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and you just kind of kept pressing towards
move
that
forward
goal.
with that.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that easy or that clean or that focused.
Okay.
I knew I wanted to do, like, I was always interested in business and entrepreneurship
Okay.
and marketing, that whole world. And then being able to tie that in with sports. But like I said, like I had started as a basketball coach
Yeah.
and then started at an accounting firm. I didn't go
Right.
to school for that. Like I just kind of
True.
learned that on the fly. So that's like, I really didn't start getting into, you know, in social media. That wasn't even a thing really when there was
Sure. At all.
Facebook, but
Sure.
as a job, that wasn't even a job. So it's not like I planned on that. I
Sure.
kind of fell into that, you know, but from 2008 to 2012, I was kind of just figuring my way out. You know, I did coaching, I did accounting, I did sales, and then finally I landed at Fox Sports and was able to do social media. So it wasn't, you know,
It
a
wasn't
straight
like that
line. It wasn't
linear-
like I had this focused thing and I just made it. And I
Yeah.
just, no, it was a lot of, you know, twists and turns and
Opportunities that you made the best of, huh?
yeah, and really
So-
just following my gut. Like, you know, I could have said like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and get my CPA and make, you know, my family friend, my mentor, really, he's mentor in my life, and kind of just make him happy. But I knew that's not what I wanted, so I had to kind of follow my gut and think about what was gonna make me happy, not what was gonna make me money, but what's gonna make me happy, and what do I see longevity in,
Got it.
you know, and happiness in. You know?
Okay. That's good stuff.
So you are part of the media,
Yeah,
all right? And I guess we are
I
too.
forget that sometimes.
Right? Because we don't look at that, especially being players. And, you know, we get in, Miles and I always talk about the debate of, like, where media stands and athletes, and that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But I do want to get where you believe sports and athletes have the, not the right, but the obligation
Mm,
to speak up on social issues.
yeah.
And the only
yeah.
reason I say that because it's, of course, it's a hot topic right now about
Sure.
social issues.
Sure.
And we've seen a couple examples, like, you know, that we just came off the Jordan doc,
Yeah.
and there was an issue that, you know, he did it one way, and then you have LeBron of today that does
Sure.
it one way, and Chris Broussard and what's Riley that's on Speak for Yourself,
Yeah, Marcellus Wiley.
Marcellus
Yeah,
Wiley. They had two different opinions.
Yeah, yeah,
So one says they absolutely are supposed to,
yeah,
and one says they shouldn't.
yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know if he said they shouldn't. I think, because I know what you're talking about. I saw
Yeah.
that earlier this week.
Or they
I think
should
he
select their lane, or
Yeah, they should do what's kind of in their heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's organic to you and you're passionate about it, I believe you should speak out
Mhm.
and use your platform. But it's something you're not comfortable with. You may not know how to articulate it. You may not have all the knowledge or facts. Sometimes you can be more of a disservice if you're just speaking out of turn or speaking without the correct facts. So I'm more of the mindset that, you know, if it's on your heart, if you've done your research, use your platform. If you're not a talkative guy, if you're a shy guy like a Kawhi Leonard,
Mhm.
I mean, you can't really force yourself to, you know, I mean, you could, but it may not come out right. It may do more harm than good. So I
Right.
think do what's organic to you, and do what's on your heart.
I like that. I mean, I do feel strongly the other way, but I still like that.
You
No,
feel
I
strongly the other way?
Oh, absolutely. Because I just think that, you know, when you're in those situations, that we talk about this a lot, that us as a culture have responsibilities that are placed upon us just because of our color and our race. That's just what they are.
And maybe
And-
your protest or your, you know, your movement isn't just talking though. Maybe it's how you carry yourself. Maybe you carry yourself with respect and dignity, and that speaks volumes, and
Right.
that can you know touch people. So
And I agree with you. I think there's
Hmm.
there's multiple ways to lead.
Yes.
in multiple
Exactly.
ways to make impact and change in your community.
And I think
always don't look
so.
the same.
Maybe a mesh of that is just making sure that that's known.
Yeah.
That's
Because when Jordan didn't come out, right? Now he's saying, "Oh, but I gave a lot of money," and it's like, "Oh, now you tell us you gave a lot of money. Like you could have been that could have been known that I'm like contributing." Or so I just think that it is a right for them to speak up in the way that they feel comfortable
Yeah.
speaking up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most of these people have an army of people, right? You have an agent, you have a publicist, you have a lot of these people
Sure.
that work for you.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
you can have them go out and work and get the information.
do the
Like,
dirty
hey,
work for you.
yes, I
Yeah.
need to know. I'm not asking you to tell me how to do. To come up with opinion, but I need the information,
Sure.
and I believe that they have the resources to do that.
Yeah. No, I can see that too. That's a tough one.
So, social media manager, man, do you get a question all the time that says like, man, how do I get more followers? Is that a topic that
Yeah, people ask me that, and my answer to that is like content is king. You know what I mean? Like you got to be consistent. You got to be putting out good content, and that's really it. Like you can't really force it. I mean, you could buy followers if you want, but that's those aren't real at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what's that really? What are you really accomplishing? So I think it's just all about figuring out a way, figuring out what your brand is, what your voice is, and being consistent with that. And the followers will come. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're working for a company like Las Vegas Review Journey, how do you get their vision? Because I feel like the social media is like out front, so you're going to get the immediate feedback, and then you're gonna you're responsible kind of for putting the vision together out there too. Is that tough? Is that hard? Is that just kind of talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it can be tough, but I think I just kind of use my instincts. I mean, I've been doing this since 2012, so that's 8 years of doing this, and a lot of trial and error, and being able to make mistakes, and kind of being at the forefront of the business, and kind of learning what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
And just the little intricacies, like what size video I should use, what size picture I should use, what hashtag I should use or not use, captions to use. So all those little things go into it. So now I'm kind of like, almost on autopilot. Like I know, the timing of posts, the wording of posts, and just how things should be presented. So it kind of comes natural to me now. But it takes a lot of practice, like anything. Yeah,
for sure. And then your past experience, obviously with playing, do you feel that gives you not necessarily a leg up, but that open kind of communication and relationship with the athletes now?
Yeah, I think so. Like I did a walkthrough when with Jonathan Abram.
I saw that.
when
Yeah.
he was buying a home.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a safety, I'm a safety. So we just we speak the same language. We've been through the same thing. So I think hopefully these guys feel a little more comfortable talking to me
For sure.
than maybe a reporter who hasn't played or hasn't been in the locker room. So yeah, I definitely try to use that to my advantage and plan to use that to my advantage.
Awesome. So how many accounts do you guys have?
Oh man.
And do you run them all? Because like I was going to look, and I was like, hold on, wait, nope. There's a lot of accounts. That you guys have.
we had so many when I first
Okay.
got there. Like, and that's one of the things I try to do is consolidate it now because the brand is just too all over the place.
Right.
Like I think we had like 20 plus Facebook pages for different,
Wow.
Categories or
RJ Politics, RJ Business,
yeah.
RJ Sports, Neon, which is our entertainment brand. So a lot of different things, and we still use some of those, granted. But really, what I focus on is Review Journal, the
Okay.
main brand, Vegas Nation, which is our Raiders brand, and then Golden Edge. And those are the really three that I focus on.
Okay.
Golden Edge, is the Vegas Golden Knights
Oh, okay.
Got it.
coverage.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the big three kind of I focus on. And then we have other brands like RJ Politics and things like that we'll use here and there, and Neon, which is our entertainment kind of lifestyle type brand.
Got you.
But yeah, it's really those big three.
And you guys still have RJ Sports.
but we don't we don't use that much anymore. We're kind of
Gotcha.
the RJ Sports stuff we kind of rolled under this Review Journal,
Review Journal.
and then if it's specific football or hockey, we'll put that on the Golden Edge or Vegas Nation pages.
Got you.
Did you have to like go to the film school on hockey, or is that something that was already in your repertoire too?
No, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not. Yeah, luckily we have a young lady who's very versed in hockey, and she's also a sports writer.
Okay.
Her name is Rochelle Richards. She does a great job, and she kind of handles the bulk of the Golden Edge social accounts.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got you.
So what is the voice, right, of
Mhm.
each of those? Because that's the thing we kind of spoke on a little bit, and you're getting it. how do you understand or craft what that voice is? Because like my personal Twitter is
Mhm.
going to have one voice versus what the Black in Sports Twitter has, right? So how do you craft the different voices for them?
For me, it really comes down to the content. Like obviously, if I'm reporting on hard news, a crime or something like that, you're gonna play it straight. And if you have, a fun story like, okay, splash pads are open in Henderson, you can have some fun with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or weather in Vegas this weekend, maybe you can have some fun with it. Get your umbrella or whatever, umbrella emoji, however you want to do it. But it really just kind of depends on the content and the tone of the content, and you kind of follow that.
Got you. All right. So with the tone of the content, I guess, well, no, not the tone, but with those three spaces, what is Vegas Nation's voice? What is that going to be? Is that going to be majority of the Raiders, or is
Yeah,
that
that's definitely all
that's
Raiders
all
voice,
Raiders?
and we use the Raider Nation hashtag a lot, because we get a lot of pushback on Vegas Nation, right? Because every day I hear that's Raider Nation, it's not Vegas Nation, especially all the people who are
Oh,
upset
upset. Yeah.
that they left
makes sense.
Oakland.
Oakland.
You know what I mean? So people are still bitter about that, but I think they're coming around. And that page is actually growing really fast for us. A Facebook page. We have a fan zone that we just launched, Vegas Nation Fan Zone.
That's awesome.
So that content is hot. Anytime we put out any Raiders news or any stadium news is really hot too, because everybody wants to see the
Get
new stadium
excited.
coming together. So
Yeah.
I mean that stuff is doing great for us.
What's kind of your thoughts on the whole transition and everything like that?
I'm excited about it. I wasn't a Raiders fan coming into this.
Sure.
I was a football fan, so I watched the Raiders and things like that. But
Right.
So I didn't really feel any type of way about them moving or anything like that. And actually, obviously, that's one of the reasons I took the job. Kind of forecasting that, hey, the Raiders are coming in town.
Sure.
It's an opportunity for me to work, alongside the Raiders, and Vegas is kind of becoming a sports town now with Vegas Golden Knights and now the Raiders. So it was kind of perfect timing for me. So I'm excited about it.
So I mean, let's just get into that, right? So the winner circles where we kind of talk about promoting, what you got going on and what's next, right?
Okay.
So, let's talk about the Vegas Nation, because you really want to talk about just the growth and what that show's doing. So just tell us that platform, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so Vegas Nation, we're your number one source for Raiders news and stadium updates.
There you go. There you go, Fox.
So you can follow Vegas Nation on Facebook, Instagram, we're Vegas Nation RJ, and then at Vegas Nation on Twitter. So those are our three main platforms. And we just actually started a new TV show. It's on Cox YourView, Channel 14 here in Vegas on Cox, and it's called Vegas Nation Blitz. It actually is on right now.
There you go.
It started at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So every Wednesday at 8 p.m.,
Okay.
you get 30 minutes of all the latest Raiders news. We have a bunch of Raiders beat writers who are on top of everything. And Cassie Soto, who you mentioned, who's our host.
Yeah.
And I do a social media segment on there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of the rundown
That's
there.
coming together then, man.
No,
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's big time.
And this is all, mind you, this is all through the pandemic. You know what I mean? We're doing, we launched the television show.
Right.
This is just a pat on the back to our whole organization. We launched a television show in the middle of a pandemic. Like we did a whole draft special, a 3-day draft special live through the pandemic, all through Skype. So it was really cool to see that come together.
That's awesome.
With all the hurdles,
Big time. And then with that being that that's a voice and it's on Wednesday nights and we're usually here Wednesday nights filming, is there like a replay that we can watch? Is it on like YouTube? Does it have a YouTube channel, or is there a replay on your Facebook, or where's that?
For sure, on Facebook you can catch the replay. I usually post the entire show. It's 22 minutes without the commercials, so I'll be posting tonight's show tomorrow on the Vegas Nation Facebook, so you can check out the whole thing there, and all the episodes are there on our Facebook page.
And how did it get started, man? Like, cause like you came in to do social media. Now you have this whole show. That's breath. Where was the concept, and did you know that was coming when you took it?
A little bit. I didn't know it was going to be as big as a TV show. I know Raiders are going to be a big priority, and I knew they had the Vegas Nation brand. But we have our director of programming. His name is Jim Prather, and he comes from the TV world. So he's all about video and TV, and he kind of worked that deal out with Cox. And made that happen.
Wow.
That's how that came together. Yeah.
That's dope. So issues, you guys, I'm excited to see what tonight's show was going to be, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think the one that really blew my mind today coming in was your boy Drew Brees.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna bring that up.
I mean, you have to.
He was on that quick too.
Man. So what's your thoughts?
Man, that's rough, man. I think that was very ill-timed statement. I think it was I mean, to be politically correct, I think it was insensitive to everything going on right now at a time where you see, everybody coming together and multiple people saying, I made a mistake. I was wrong about Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
I think it was the VP of communications from the NFL came out and said, I was wrong. I got it wrong.
Mhm.
You have Pete Carroll saying, I got it wrong.
Right.
Mhm.
And you have him doubling down on, I still
I still.
don't want anybody disrespecting the flag.
Yeah.
When we're in the middle of protests and marches and riots. So, I mean, obviously he feels strongly about that.
Very strongly.
So I'll leave that there.
When you
But I will say the Saints are coming to Allegiant Stadium
for sure week 2.
week 2, the Allegiant Stadium home opener.
Opener.
So we'll see, if that D line gets after him.
Man,
But
whenever you bring your grandparents into it, that's how you know it's serious. So
he
said
his
when he's talking about
grandparents?
Yeah,
I didn't
'cause
see the whole statement.
His grandfather fought, so he's the whole military thing, right?
your whole if you bring your grandparents in it, you're not. I mean, that's deep. That's for real.
And then you saw Aaron Rodgers came back and said, you see that? Aaron
I did
Rodgers
see
tweeted.
Aaron Rodgers.
So Aaron Rodgers tweeted, or I think it was a tweet. He said it wasn't about the flag then, and it's not about. Or no, he said it's not about. It wasn't about the military then, and it's not about the military now. And so he said it in those words, something like that. And then Mike Thomas retweeted him.
He got at him.
Yeah, Mike Thomas was like, "You're either with us or against us," and that's his number one receiver. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic.
That is.
You know what I mean?
Mike Thomas still want them targets, them
Of
306
course.
targets that
And
he
Drew
gave.
Brees still wants to throw it to him. I'm sure.
True.
And they're not. It's not like he's not going to throw him the ball, but I mean that's an interesting dynamic now going into the locker room.
Who's their backup?
Cap.
Uh,
Jameis.
Jameis.
He been
Hey, there may be some dissension in our locker room,
Jameis been doing some unique workouts. So.
and he got them eyes fixed.
You got that LASIK.
He got that LASIK, so hey, you mess around you want to. I mean, but I think it's sad, right? It's so sad.
Yeah.
Like after all, because when was it? 2000? It was 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, like 14, 15.
Yeah,
something
14,
like that.
15, right?
Mhm.
And you still don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, it's deep. That's in him.
Yeah, you say your grandparents, and you're not playing.
I mean, and so staying along those lines, and then you got your boy Vic Fangio. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Vic Fangio.
Yeah. He says there's no racism in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, it just highlights the blind spots that a lot of people have still, and I don't think you can't blame everybody all the time. I don't know.
No.
Because they don't live it, you know what I mean? They don't experience it, they don't feel it, so they're kind of oblivious to it. They're kind of going along, and they're a perfect Americana, thinking everything's all good. But and you may have a good camaraderie in the locker room between
sure.
races, of course, but it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? It's the lack of black head coaches. It's the lack of black general managers, vice presidents, owners, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's deeper than that.
Yeah,
Systemic.
Exactly.
I was guessing that's what he was trying to talk like. Oh, I got a
a black friend.
My running backs are black. What are you talking like? Everybody's.
Yeah, I mean, he referenced like the camaraderie in the locker room and
I'm
things
sure,
like that.
and it is.
But yeah.
I mean, if I always say that back to the point of athletes, in their brand and talking on social awareness and things of that nature,
Right.
like not many other walks in life is where you're gonna meet and interact with different people from different races, and you guys all have like common goals.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
You're gonna have a big bruh from Nebraska that's been on,
Yep.
somebody from Florida, and y'all all got to work together, and y'all do all work together for a common goal. So, yeah,
And
maybe that's what he's talking about, but he got to get out the film room a little bit, open his eyes.
Open up, right?
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good to have those moments though, because now maybe he's like, wow, I got that wrong. I need to have more conversations with
Very
people,
true.
and maybe he learned something from that.
Coaching
accurate.
moments.
Yeah,
So it's just
coaching moments for the coach.
long as he's definitely open to it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got to prophesize. What pastors say, the man of the day, you got to prophesize to the
Yeah.
king sometimes.
Yeah, you got
Yep.
So, Renaissance man.
Mhm.
I led that in the open.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Come on, man. We bring it all together. So, music,
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
Talk to us about like when did you start, man? Was it always kind of like in you? And that creative side is great to have, and I guess in marketing as a creative, but just how to start and just go.
Sure. Yeah. So I've always been a huge hip hop head ever since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Started with like Cool Mo D. And,
Okay.
people like that, and even Eazy-E back in the day. So yeah, I've always been a hip hop head and kind of like a hip hop historian. and
I
always
like it.
really paid attention to it.
Respect the culture. I love
For
it.
sure, like the videos, whatever, reading the credits,
Mhm.
producers, everything. And I was just always big on like lyrics, and it's funny because I grew up in Altadena and everybody was playing like West Coast music and obviously Tupac, DJ Quick, Snoop Dogg, and I like those guys too. But I always gravitated more to like a Nas or like a Jay-Z,
'Cause you're Midwest.
or a Tribe Called
So
Quest.
you're getting
But I was born
pulled-
in LA though.
Oh,
I was
that's
born in
true.
LA, so
Yeah.
my whole life I've been in LA.
And I like
But I just was just kind of like their samples, how they implemented jazz and different samples and the lyrics. It just hit different for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the music I always kind of gravitated towards. So I was always a big hip hop fan and junkie, whatever you want to call it. And then actually, like I said, when I graduated in 2008,
Mhm.
in the middle of recession, I had nothing but time. I didn't have a job.
There you go.
I was still actually trying to work out and do little workouts here and there,
Mm-hmm.
CFL, all this kind of stuff. So basically, I would just work out with my friend Jay Stu. He's like a big dude. He threw shot put and stuff. So I work out with him, and he started like he was making beats in his spare time. So I was like, man, let me hear your beats. Like I was like, oh, these are pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I was like, man, you know what? I was like, we should make some songs of these. Like, so I started writing to some songs. Next thing you know, he had a little MacBook. We started recording after our workouts. We'd
There
be in
you
his
go.
parents' house, upstairs, building little studios with pillows and stuff, recording, rapping right into the laptop, no
Right.
microphone. Before you knew it, we had like
love it.
5 or 10 songs.
I
So
love
I'm like,
it.
yo, like we should put a mixtape out. He's like, nah, no, you can't do that. What do you mean?
Like,
I'm like, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
So he put out a mixtape.
I
That's
love
how it
it.
all started. Next thing you know, my brother kind of hopped on. I played him a song, and he was like, man, this is good. And he kind of became my manager. Next thing you know, I'm doing shows. My brother's going out to Japan to host a Michael Jackson tribute show, and he's like connecting with different people in the industry. So yeah, just kind of took off like that.
That's
just out of
big.
not having a job and not having a job and then missing that that competitive, that creative stimulus that I got from playing sports.
Right.
Yeah.
And channel that into music.
So were you always that guy? There's always one or two on the team that's he gonna rap before the game at the hotel.
I
like,
would say
he's
rap after the win, but y'all
Yeah.
have a lot of but still bust a flow though.
It's
right?
1:30 a.m. and he's still rapping
He's
like,
still
bro,
going.
we don't need you. Like, go, yeah,
No hook.
yeah,
Just straight
just
bars.
go.
That's funny you say that because I really wasn't that guy. Shout out to my guy Rato, Rodney Ezzard, and Charles Robinson. They was really kind of like the freestyle.
freestyle.
Mike Brown too. They was really kind of the freestyle guys in the locker room.
Love
And I
it.
would hop in every now and then,
Right.
but I'm not really a freestyle guy to be honest. I like writing. I like
Okay.
writing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? With the pen, I think I'm pretty good, but freestyle at the top, I'm
Mhm.
whatever. So yeah, I wasn't really like the freestyle guy like in the locker room.
Because
That's
that
what's
locker, like that era was like that. I told you it was all Swisher House. Like,
Yeah, Mike Brown's from Houston actually.
So
So,
you-
yeah, he was.
So,
Yeah,
damn,
hold
so he
on.
was definitely
Man.
into that.
Yeah.
So where'd the rap name come from?
yeah,
Oh, so Quam, right? So I have 3 middle names.
Oh, okay.
So I'm African, right? So I got a lot of names.
You got a couple of
So
them.
my full
Break them
name is
down for it. Let's get the full name. Go.
my full name is Adrian Emmanuel Kwame Nana Aye-Darko.
There it is.
So Kwame, Quam obviously came from Kwame.
Kwame.
And there was doing my hip hop research, there was a rapper back in the day named Kwame. Biggie said like Kwame with the polka,
Polka dots.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't want to be Kwame or Kwame, so I shortened it to Kwame.
Kwame.
That's why I got Kwame, yeah. And a lot of people call me Kwame and Kwame,
Okay.
like growing up or whatever, and through high school, college, and stuff like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
shooting a video. Do you get that same? You kind of mentioned it. That same
Hmm.
adrenaline that you did playing. It was a different.
Little bit. It's definitely similar. Like just the whole performance aspect. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As an athlete, like it's even hard for me to like be, in the media or be like a fan, so to speak. Like I'm used to being the show or like
Right.
being in the arena, the man in the
Right.
arena or whatever,
Right.
so to speak. So like anytime I can kind of perform
hmm
and you get that it's the same process, right? You prepare, you have to write the song, you have to make a video treatment, you have to prepare for what you're doing, and
Yeah.
then you have to execute,
Mhm.
just like a game plan. So it's very similar, and it gives me that same rush that
Definitely.
I miss from playing sports.
So I did see a performance
Uh-oh.
of you doing the what was it, the Fox theme song a cappella.
Oh, wow, you found that? Yeah.
But what was fun? They didn't have you beatboxing. Who was beatboxing?
Man, I don't even know who was beatboxing in that.
Skilled.
Yeah. There was a lot bigger names I think in that video. It was like a little
A little
kinda like a
montage,
Brady
like a
bunch,
Bra-
bunch of little
yeah.
different boxes and stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's cool that they came up with that, man.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
So, are you working on some music now?
Not at the moment. I kind of work when I'm inspired at this point.
Really?
Because at the end of the day, I'm not making money off of it. So like I kind of focus on back in like 2010 to maybe 2015. I was really going hard with it and putting a lot of energy into it. And I kind of took a break 2015 to 2018, and I just kind of like caught the bug again in 2018 and really got back into it. Started shooting videos, started recording. But I do have 2 fairly new songs on iTunes. One called Zooted, one called Next Level, NXT LVL. Those are my 2 songs on iTunes right now, and I have a whole SoundCloud page, whole YouTube page. Just look up Quam, and so I have stuff from all the way back from 2010 all the way to 2020.
Love it.
So
Yeah, I mean, you had me feeling bad because you're saying you need to pick up a skill during this like quarantine time on IG, and I'm like, I was with you, and then you said you need to pick up a skill. And I was like,
well, yeah, I guess
should I just get on Madden?
Yeah, so I guess that's like the latest rap I wrote was that little quarantine rap.
The quarantine
some fun
part,
with that. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, when I'm inspired, like I was inspired. It was actually Fabulous put out that little call to action, like rap to Cold Summer, and that's one of my favorite artists. So I was like, why not? You know what I mean? So I just did that real quick.
You rapping with some dope stuff though.
Yeah.
Pound Cake and the what's the 2 Chainz joint?
Yeah, threat to society.
I love that cut anyway.
Yeah.
And then I heard you, I was like, okay, I see him. I see him.
Yeah, that's the stuff I like is that music that touches your soul. You know what I mean? That soulful samples a lot of time, and that's really what I connect to, and I think that's what I sound best on.
Yep.
And you connected to not getting married no time soon.
you said, yeah.
It's funny. I feel like I say that a lot in my rap.
Yes. You let it be known.
I might have a problem, you know what I mean? But nah,
you let it be known.
I
Different world over here. You good?
Hey, it's all good,
I'm in Vegas now. I just moved here, so when it happens, it happens. I'm not against it, but I'm definitely not rushing it.
Let them wait. He's sowing his royal oats. All right, man. So what's next, man? I mean, you're doing a lot of amazing things, and like, we definitely have to always look. We may not have it fully executed, but is there some things that maybe you want to test out as you're navigating?
Yeah, so I just really want to continue with Vegas Nation, just building that brand.
That's dope.
And having more kind of on-camera opportunities.
That's
something
awesome.
Because it's crazy. When I work for Fox Sports, and I told people I work for Fox Sports, they're like, "Oh, you're like one of the sports commentators, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually like behind the scenes. I do the social media." So like, I've always wanted to kind of delve in that more, and now I'm getting the opportunity to do that with Vegas Nation Blitz and even our digital and social media shows. So I want to do more of that, just continue on that path, and then keep making music when I'm inspired too.
Sure.
Well, we definitely want to support you, so we'll definitely put a push for everybody to tune in or check out the show, on the off day. So definitely get you out there because we do have a strong faces that look like ours that are attempting to push in the media, So we had Brian, I don't know if you know Brian Salmon, we've had him on the show. So definitely want to make sure you connect with that. And then just a lot of the people that are here in the studio that we perform in, that are definitely giving those voices. So that's awesome.
Great. And y'all know Darren Ashton too, right?
Yeah, DA.
That's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we had DA on the show.
Yeah.
Me and DA go way back. So good people. We need those shoes though. He got the connects on the shoes, so we just need to make sure they come in.
Guy now. Yeah, I need mine too. What up, Darren?
So this is the part, man, where we're wrapping up, man. It's called the assist, right? So where you get to drop some gems and drop some knowledge. You've been, sharing some great stuff with us. But is there like a mantra? Is there an inspirational quote that you want to share, or something that your guiding principles that kind of guide you through? Just something you want to give to the people.
Yeah, so one thing I always that sticks with me is a coach said, Coach Jerry Azanero, he was our defensive coordinator at Duke, and he always just said, be present. Whatever you're doing, be present. If you're doing this interview, be present. Nowadays, we have so many distractions, whether it's social media, TV, the news, what's going on. But I think if you can be present in what you're doing and everything you're doing, then you can kind of be your best self and give your best effort in everything.
Drop bombs. I like that.
Present.
Be present.
Speaking of present, man, this is all. Have you ever been present in the same place as Matt Forte? Because I swear y'all the same people.
That's funny.
You get that, huh?
Nah, I haven't really.
Okay.
Maybe once or twice. I get Ghost a lot from Power. I got Joe Budden a lot. when I lived in San Diego, it seemed like everybody walked up and like, "Yo, Joe Budden." Yeah, Matt Forte. Sometimes I got like Carlos Boozer. Like,
Nah,
they love throwing the jokes at me, but yeah, I haven't got Matt Forte. Maybe like once or twice, but that's interesting.
That's hilarious.
Never met Matt Forte.
But no, that presence, that's one of the things I think that they talked about in the Jordan. I think when wrapping it up is that he was always being present in that kind of moment.
Exactly. Yep.
So
that resonated with me too. Yep.
Yeah. So I definitely like that. Well, man, hey, all good things must come to an end. I don't know why,
man.
but we really thank you for coming on tonight, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we want to thank the people for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please follow us on Black in Sports on all of our social platforms. And now we got a in-house guy that's going to give us the hooks on what we need to do to make sure those socials are popping.
Yeah, I'm going to get you right. Y'all need a little bit of work. I'm going to get you right.
There it is. Hey, coaching moment. Hey, but yeah, I hope you like the show. Please comment, follow us, and let us know who you want to hear. And just know that we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.